guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jackie Aina. In today's video I'm going to be talking about color correcting. I do have an older video that I did actually like around this time last year, so if you kind of want to get a different take on the subject, feel free to click anywhere in this video, check out that video first, and then come on back here, of course. Color correcting has really developed into not only a trending topic, but it's really become, I guess, a lot more easily available and like readily available to a lot more people, whereas coming from a freelance makeup artist background, it was like just kind of one of those things that we really only did, like it was more the exception, not the norm, if that makes sense. So I want to get a little bit more in depth and also kind of demonstrate some of the products that I like using, how you would color correct, and what instances you wouldn't color correct. Just as a disclaimer, I always have to say this before I do these types of videos. These videos are not telling you that you're doing anything wrong. It's not meant to bash or put anyone on the spot. It's basically meant to be really a guideline. Like, some people just really don't know any better. They don't even really know where to start. If you like color correcting with tomato juice, I really don't care. It's your face. But I personally feel like there's a lot of information that's just confusing people, and it's just, people don't know when to color correct, when not to, and I really just want to help people that genuinely have questions. Now again, if you're gonna color correct a certain way, or if you like being creative, that's fine, but it's not color correcting. So I just want to give a little bit more in-depth guidance for those of you guys that really are still kind of like, what do I do, girl? Help! So color correcting, if you don't know, is basically just using colors on the color wheel to cancel and neutralize unwanted pigmentation. Maybe you're dealing with redness. Maybe you have a bruise that you want to cover. Maybe there's dark marks on your face that you are just kind of like, you gotta go. Now obviously, as you can tell, I'm a chocolate girl, but I'm gonna try to throw in some tips that are going to be able to apply for everyone, because obviously I have a very diverse group of followers, so I want everybody to be able to learn the basics and be able to apply them to themselves by watching this video. Don't be intimidated by do and don't. It's just a label. It's really not that deep. If you want to do whatever you want, fine, by all means. If something that I say as a don't works for you, by all means, I don't care, girl, just do you. So the first do is to color correct where you need. I think that the best way to tell whether or not you need to color correct or where you should color correct is when you put on foundation or when you put on concealer, does that area of concern still show through? Like, there are some girls that I watch their videos and they may apply a full coverage foundation, but the redness will still show through, you know? So I think in that instance, you may want to use some green to cancel it out and balance it out. There are some foundations that don't cover my dark marks, and who wants to keep building on another layer of foundation just to cover that one spot? That's when things just get cakey and it just becomes abort mission. Color correctors just really helps minimize how much overall product you have to use. Don't overcorrect. Do not apply a corrector in the same way that you would a concealer. I see the whole like triangle thing. That's too much. It's a lot. Now again, correcting is only for the areas that still show through underneath your concealer and foundation. So if you have dark circles, it's highly unlikely your dark circles come all the way down to your nose, right? So why would you apply a corrector all the way down to your nose? It just doesn't make sense. Plus, if you apply way too much corrector in an area that really didn't need to be corrected as much in the first place, you're gonna run into another issue. You're gonna have to try to figure out how you're gonna cover the corrector. And then it's going to start seeping through your concealer. It's gonna start showing through your foundations. I get comments from people that are like, I corrected and my foundation's orange. Pull back, fam. Fall back game, way strong with that corrector, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Do use a corrector shade that's just as rich as your skin tone. If your skin is fair and you're correcting dark circles, use a salmon or almost kind of like peachy tone corrector to cancel it out. If your skin is medium, you're gonna wanna go down a couple shades. So I would go for something that's got like a peachy, a darker peach, maybe even almost caramel kind of tone. Now if your skin's dark to deep dark like mine, you're gonna wanna use a peach, but like a darker peach, or even like a soft, subtle orange. And I've got some examples of things that I like to use to correct darkness and things of that nature. You're, for example, dark skin and you're trying to correct redness. Redness doesn't really show up on my skin tone. It's very rare. Like if my skin has to be really agitated, like after a peel or after a scrub. Well, green is the opposite to red. Usually a lot of color correctors look more mint. So on my skin tone, they would just show up pale and sallow and they wouldn't correct, it just looked ashy. Darker skin tones also don't typically use lilac to correct because lilac cancels yellow, and because our skin is so rich, you don't typically see yellow. You may see more gold unless you're more on the medium side. So again, just stay away from lilac. Unless it's of course a deeper lilac. I think it's very rare. Like I rarely ever reach for lilac on my skin tone. I actually don't think I ever have, except for in this video, because I was having a lot of fun, as you can see. Do use correctors that have a concealer-like texture or consistency. That way they're formulated for the face and they're also going to be fairly easy to remove, especially if you're using the corrector in delicate areas like around the eyes, the eyelid. Some people correct their eyelids. I've done that before. It works wonderful. While lipsticks are a great quick fix, they're an easy hack. You know, I think if you're like, maybe you're working on set and you just kind of need something, maybe you're on vacation, you left that corrector at home and you just need something. Great, easy, quick hack. But lipsticks aren't really formulated to be used around delicate parts of the face like the under eyes. I've even seen some people use liquid lipsticks, which I really would not advise because as you can see, it stained my eyelid. So can you imagine like your toughest, most long wearing liquid lipstick, putting it under the eye and trying to remove that? Oh my God, it'd be like a permanent corrector for like a whole day. I didn't like that feeling and I really would not advise that of other people because it's just not, just no. But of course, if it's just like a once or twice exception and you just kind of need something quick, by all means. Do apply correctors with a light hand and build your way up. Do you see how I'm applying that on my skin and it just disappears? It literally just disappears. You can't see the spot anymore. It's just poof, gone. Okay, it neutralized it. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. You're not really supposed to see a ton of corrector sitting on top of the face when you're correcting something. On light days where I really don't even feel like wearing makeup, sometimes I'll just put a correcting primer over my face and that way it'll just kind of like correct the dark marks without me having to actually add makeup. It just corrects and lightly blurs them and I'm good to go. Don't build your correctors too heavily. Correctors are to correct and cancel out. They're not meant to be applied like concealers and foundations. So you shouldn't be worried about how much coverage or how much it covers. You should be worrying about canceling out or kind of blurring whatever it is that you're trying to get to diminish. Did that make sense, guys? I really hope that you guys found this video helpful and I wanted to kind of keep it basic. I feel like if it was too information packed, it would just confuse people. If it's confusing for you, just don't do it. I feel like general rule of thumb is if it's too confusing, just stick to what you do. Don't try to wrap your head around something that you probably may or may not even need to do. Also, one more thing that I do want to add is don't worry about your foundation shade. Do not worry. Don't let this whole like NC50 gang, like I'm NC50, what do I use? No, okay. If you have dark skin, use a dark peach. For example, maybe your skin is medium and you have the LA Girl Pro Conceal. Now, I feel like this is a little rich. I feel like this is a little rich for some girls that are in the medium skin tone range, okay? But you just apply it with a light hand, very lightly, and build your way up until you like the way it looks. Okay, so keep it simple. I think I pretty much covered everything I need to cover. Don't feel like you have to jump on every makeup bandwagon. You really don't, because even though color correcting is a scientific technique, right now it's just popping, it's the cool thing to do. But don't worry, like if you don't get it, it's fine. Maybe it's just not really meant for you to get, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Like, I don't get why people be drawing Ferris wheels on their face, but I don't say nothing. Share this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you back on my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.